So let's get uncomfortable and get out of our comfort zone, change some things, and watch your level of responsibility and success come up accordingly. Because I've seen a lot of really sexy real estate agents out there, and I'm thinking, what are you thinking? No wife is going to want to deal with that. You got to give up that right for the increased responsibility. One concept I think is important that I stress is the concepts of rights versus responsibilities. And this is, I probably have had my famous rights versus responsibilities talk so many times with so many people that I've worked with. And as a leader, it's very important to have the rights and responsibilities conversation with people that work with you so many times, that it's a part of initial onboarding for a lot of staff members, for ICC clients. It's also very important for you as an individual to understand the rights and responsibilities conversation. I cannot tell you, we've talked so much about the importance of getting uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone. Nothing will do that for you more. I mean, that's if there was something I want on my tombstone, literally it's that he got people uncomfortable. Like my kids ad nauseum hear that from me. Like I'm always trying to get them uncomfortable doing new things. I try to do that with everyone to the point where it just absolutely annoys people. Like my poor spouse, my wife, is constantly here, at some point she's like, God, just let me be comfortable, so, but I do think that's what makes people grow within limits. That's what makes people grow. Whether you need to grow yourself or grow the people that are with you and around you, the rights responsibility conversation is a big catalyst of that. It's a crucial part of that. I'm sure there's people on here that have actually heard that from me before, people listening to this, watching this. So let me explain to you the general concept, and then I'll kind of branch out from there, okay? And the way that I've been able to explain it best, like always, is through some sort of visual. So I'm going to briefly show you a visual on the concept. And I think it looks kind of like a triangle. And if we start at the top, people start out with a lot of rights. So they have a lot more rights than they have responsibility. And when I say start out, I mean earlier in life, earlier in their career, earlier in a particular industry, or earlier in their time with a particular company. They have a lot more rights and they tend to start out with very little responsibility. But over time, as they grow, either in the community or in a company or in an industry, they actually pick up more responsibility. And the amount of rights they have tends to shrink, and it actually decreases, whether that's you and your profession. So believe it or not, you're working to get better. And in doing so, you're inadvertently going to decrease the amount of rights you have. So I'll often say to people, hey, you can have rights or responsibilities, but you can't necessarily have both of them. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is this: as your rights decrease, you're making room for an increased amount of responsibility. And the best way to I've always demonstrated that by a hypothetical that involves the Walmart administrative staff. And I have no idea why, but I think we all know what Walmart is. And at one point in time, you've had the experience of going inside of one, which, has mixed reviews from people. Not my most pleasant experience, but some people really like Walmart, and that's great too. But I know a lot of people go in there, and so most people can relate to it. So when you go into Walmart, there are two types of people. One, and you may never see either of these people. One of them works out in the back, and he runs the loading dock. That person, may not even wear a uniform, because not many customers see him. In fact, he probably smokes on his smoke breaks right outside the back loading dock door. He doesn't have to shave. He doesn't have a lot of responsibilities with his appearance at all. He's got the right to wear anything he wants. He's got the right not to shave. He's got the right to smoke. He's got the right to smell like smoke when he's in the workplace. He may have the right to wear cut-off sleeves and have a tattoo that's visible right up here on his arm. I'm guessing a lot here, so I don't know Walmart's, but he might even have tattoos up on his neck. He might have them when he closes his eyes, on his eyelids. I don't know. But he's got all kinds of rights because he doesn't have a lot of responsibility, right? He may have the right after work to go to happy hour and flirt with a bunch of girls that work inside of Walmart. He might have that right. He's the lowest dude on the totem pole. He doesn't have a lot of responsibility. And with not much responsibility comes a lot of rights. However, if we go back into the store, there's usually a big glass mirror somewhere. And inside said glass mirror is where the general manager of the entire store works. A little different for him. He has much more responsibility. He's the top dog and he makes a lot more money. He gets paid a lot more. In fact, he probably gets a couple weeks paid vacation. He probably has the best health benefits of anyone there. I would imagine the general manager of a Walmart store has amazing health benefits. He may even have stock options in Walmart. He's got all of these benefits, but he doesn't have the same rights, nearly as many rights as the dude in the loading dock. Why? How? He has to wear the same khaki pants that are probably pleated every single freaking day, with a long sleeve shirt that's probably checkered every day, with a name badge every day. He's got to shave every day. He's got to have his hair cut every day. He cannot smoke on his smoke breaks. He can't smell like smoke. He can never go to happy hour with any employees ever after work. He doesn't have nearly the same amount of rights as the dude in the loading dock. Why? He's got tons of responsibility. And that's what comes with success. He's down here. He's got all this responsibility, but he can't do any of that stuff. The loading dock guy has almost no responsibility. He's just got to get his butt to work every day, show up, do his job. Doesn't really matter how he does it or what he does on his breaks or afterwards. So he has tons of rights to do whatever he wants. And I'm going to use those two as the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person. And you can see why within an organization, I make sure everybody that is a coaching client of ICC has that conversation and that visual image as a part of any new onboarding process for any new agent on a team or in an organization, or staff member hired in a team or organization, employee, so that they understand that difference. Because in all likelihood, we're going to circle back to it a lot. Now, that also can apply to us inside our own heads. Probably more importantly, it kind of starts there, right? Because oftentimes we don't want to get uncomfortable and do things differently because we are comfortable the way we do things. We like the way we do things and how it makes us feel. It's part of who we are. And I don't want to sacrifice who I am and give up some of those rights. Well, that is your choice. You do, no one's going to make you do it, but you are possibly giving up a lot of increased responsibilities and benefits by not doing it. You're giving up a certain degree of success because you want a neck tattoo way up here. I guarantee you, that's going to freaking bother someone in a listing presentation. Make sense? I can't tell you how many times I've had that as a tattoo conversation. Similarly, if you like to wear big revealing clothing, I know it makes you feel good, right? I can't tell you how many women I've had this conversation with. You like tight clothing or things that reveal certain parts of your body. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel sexy or beautiful. I get it. It is your right to feel those things, and I don't doubt it does. But when you do that, you're going to give up a certain amount of success in exchange for that, right? As a team leader, and you're out there, when I mean team leader, I mean like a rainmaker of a real estate team, 70% of agents are female real estate agents. How do they feel about you looking sexy? I don't know, but I think some of them might look at you with judgment. That's how ladies are, right? I don't hate the player, hate the game. Sorry, I didn't make up the rules. If you're letting that, that's just the way it works. I know it, watched it. Number two, so there's going to be a chunk of females that are going to be alienated by that. There will be some that like it and respect it and like it because it's their jam too, but it's usually a small percentage. Number two, let's say you're in a listing presentation as an agent. Do you think the wife's really comfortable with this? Oh, I can't wait to leave you alone with my husband. You're sexy as heck. You're going to miss out on a lot of listings. So I can't tell you how many agents I said, give up that right. I know you like it and I know it's fun. Doesn't mean it's the right thing. Sometimes medicine doesn't taste good either. So let's get uncomfortable and get out of our comfort zone, change some things, and watch your level of responsibility and success come up accordingly. Because I've seen a lot of really sexy real estate agents out there, and I'm thinking, what are you thinking? No wife is going to want to deal with that. So why are we sending all these glamour pics out there when we're trying to get in the living room of a family? Make sense? So it might be getting uncomfortable to make some changes for that increased responsibility, especially in the world of social media, guys. Here we are in the world of social media where everything we do is put out there, right? So like, I know you're having a fun time in Las Vegas this weekend, but be real careful about posting the party pics with a bunch of cocktails in your hand, right? I know it's comfortable and you want all your friends to see it, but that is the public arena and your friends are also your sphere of influence. You don't get much benefit from that post, or maybe put the drinks down or crop them out of the photo before you post it. It's pretty easy to do nowadays. Be mindful. And I know you're sacrificing who you are. No, you're not. You're sacrificing what you present to the world. You still do whatever the heck you want. Just change your presentation. If you wouldn't put it on your agent website, don't put it on social media, because more people are going to check out your profile than your agent website. I promise you that right now. So if I go back through all your photo history, which almost every home seller does before they hire you, they go to Facebook and they scroll right through all your photo history. So don't have anything back there that has a lot of red Solo cups or bikinis. Don't do it. That's the public. I mean, and yes, so you're like, wow, that's changing who I am. No, it's changing your public persona in the public arena. You can still do whatever the heck you want. But yes, you probably will have to give up your rights to a very personal Facebook page and kind of sell that out for increased success and responsibility in your industry. You're going to have to be a little bit more vanilla there and not be as candid and display who you are. And that goes for Instagram too, obviously, or wherever the heck you are in the public. You know, for increased success, we're going to have increased diplomacy. Make sense? We're going to have to give up some rights to do some of these things, which quite frankly, I can't imagine why anybody would want to do that anyway. Make sense? Like, why would you want to let people into that kind of stuff? Make sense? You can put your family up there, you can put your friends up there, you can do all that, but the stuff that crosses the line, those are rights we should probably give up if we're looking to increase our success and our career trajectory. Make sense? You've heard me say it. I know it's fun when you see something that really lights you up about how bad President Trump is or how dumb the liberals are or whatever, and how, I know there's something that really gets you going and you're just so tempted to share that on Facebook. Don't. You're about to alienate half the US population. Make sense? Refrain. Give up that right for success. The minute you do that, you take your target market and offend half of them. We want to be increasing our client base typically to succeed. Make sense? Be very careful with how far you go with religion. Depending on where you live, you can offend a lot of people there. You can, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying take away your religion. Be just as religious as you are. Be very spiritual. Hell, I'm spiritual. But again, that's my thing. Getting out there and reducing my target market, if there is a lot of people that are of a different religion or ilk, man, I might just think about that. I might just give up that right to do that. Again, you can do whatever you want to do. Just understand sometimes it comes with a cost. And if you're willing to take that cost, do it. Just do so knowing. If it's part of your religion to spread the word, I'm not going to tell you not to. Go with, your spiritual beliefs first. Just understand it does come with a cost. Make sense? That's the one I always dance a fine line by talking about. But I think it's very important that we're aware of it, because you can alienate large groups of people if people disagree with your thoughts in politics and religion. So as a general thought, I try to steer away from those. Make sense? I'll give you another one. If you're doing a lot of dating, man, I don't know if the public arena needs to know about that. Just like dating's not allowed in an office setting for the exact same reason between two members of the same staff in an office. But the minute you're married, it's totally cool. Everybody's accepting of it. There's no HR problem at all. Notice that? Well, guess what? That had a lot to do with public opinion. So maybe keep your dating life off social media. But once you get married, go crazy. Now you're wholesome. It is what it is. Once again, don't hate the player, hate the game. For success, I mean, when you get up into top leaders and top agents, man, you don't know anything about them. They are so freaking vanilla on their online presence. It's unbelievable. It is so vanilla. All you see is kids and happy and sunshines and things like that, and unicorns and positive things. You don't, again, same with negativity. I know you have bad days, but venting and being negative in any way, shape, or form, you got to give up that right for the increased responsibility.